Today, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at something a little different. So we're going to be looking at a recording of SciShow Talk Show. So this is where Hank Green, who I've covered, he does, along with his brother, whose name, for some reason, is getting out of my head. It's the Brothers Green. He wrote The Fault in Our Stars, and for some reason his name is slipping out of my head right now. Nonetheless, we're looking at an episode of the SciShow Talk Show with Hank Green, who is talking to someone whose name I cannot pronounce, but who studies polar bears. So this episode is, I believe it's titled Studying Polar Bears from a Monster Truck. Yes, Studying Polar Bears from a Monster Truck. So, and the person he is talking to is BJ, I'm going to butcher this last name. It's Chris Schoffer. Okay. And then you'll see a little bit of Jessie from the Animal Wonders, who talks about a fox, the Arctic fox who lives near the polar bears. She comes on near the end. But this is actually a decently long video. So it's 27 minutes, 32 seconds. So it is decently long, at least for a YouTube video and for some of those things that I review here, at least in the term of YouTube channels. Normally I do not review them this long. And I've not actually seen, this isn't the first episode I've actually seen of the SciShow Talk Show. And it's very, very interesting where Hank is sitting there. He's talking to this expert on how they study polar bears, how they act, how climate change is affecting them, why we don't see them further south, because that's not where the food source is. They hunt seals. Seals are in the water, in the Arctic. So, and they're basically watching seal breathing holes and cracks in the ice to hunt seals, who has to come up to breathe because they're mammals. And how they, I don't think they hibernate, how they have their cubs, and kind of what is going on with them, because as the ice is melting, they're losing their hunting grounds. So, issues. But he talks about how he studies them, all about the different things for polar bears. Trying to think what else he talks about. He talks about polar bears, and how they hunt, and how they breed, how big they get. I don't think he actually talks about their fur. He doesn't talk about the fact that they're black. Their skin is actually black, and their fur is actually clear. Which, yes, is a true thing. So, but it's a very interesting conversation about about where they live, because they do study them in the Arctic. You're looking at Alaska, and Greenland, and Canada, and pretty much up near that Arctic Circle here, the top of the planet, the globe, big round thing. Let's see, if I move here. Those are dolls. Where the heck did it's over here. It's just out of it's out of view here. I do in fact have a globe in this room. The big black thing next to the dolls is a telescope that I barely use, because I live in the suburbs. It's too much ambient light. So, but nonetheless, it is a very interesting video. For homeschoolers, if you're doing a animal unit and looking at animals in the Arctic, looking at polar bears specifically, this is a great video to watch. It gives a lot of information. I'm going to double check. I have the video up here, see if they provide more research. Yeah, they link to Polar Bears International, the Tundra Connections, and the Animal Wonders. And so, and then it has also, there's a link to SciShowFinds.com for selected artifacts of this universe. But I think that's their show. But yeah, it provides some interesting links to more information. And the Brothers Green is obviously, I've covered SciShow before. This is obviously my first SciShow Talk Show, which is obviously much longer videos. I've covered SciShow Kids. I trust the Brothers Green to know what they're doing. They are associated with a little bit with PBS Digital Studios as well. So they are a reliable education source. And this is good, again, if you're doing a science curriculum on polar bears or on life in the Arctic or on animal extinction. So it has a couple of different notches that you could cover in it. And that's really it. There's not much to say. I mean, it's a decently long video. That's kind of what it covers. It's an expert talking about how they study polar bears. And it's really, really good. And Hank Green is a great host. And then you get to see a cute little Arctic fox at the end, who, yes, are in fact eaten by polar bears on occasion. They're the ones hiding from polar bears because, yes, besides the seals, the polar bears will eat whatever is available. And yes, that includes you. Yeah. What is the old saying when it comes to bears here? If it's what? Black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. And if it's white, say goodnight. Because, yeah, polar bears won't back eat. Because they're opportunistic hunters. They're scavengers. They live in a place where there's not a lot of food. So, yes, they will hunt humans and eat them because we're food. And they will eat anything that's, food. In this case, living or dead. They do scavenge. But again, great video, great host, really interesting content. And again, it's for a YouTube video, it's decently long. Again, it's almost a half an hour. So again, that is it for this video. Hopefully I will be reviewing some more SciShow talk shows at a later date when I can fit them in. When I mind, I do not believe I'm covering them anything later this year. So, again, this is bouncing off the Polar Bears of the Ice, which is Catherine Lasky, which is the reason I'm covering polar bears. Once those are finished, this is being filmed in September, so you guys will be seeing this in a couple of months. But once Polar Bears of the Ice, I'm doing a quick overview of the Animorphs. Then I'm moving on to Anne of Green Gables, and then we're going into the Boxcar Children and then Wings of Fire. Those are the series that are coming in this year. The other videos that you will see be popping up here in January have to do with, I think I'm doing some episodes on swords and glass making and weaving and cheese making. We see stuff on that. Then we're moving into Black History Month, and then we're covering Women's History Month in March. If you want more stuff on Irish history, check out my playlists. I've covered those the last couple of years, but this year I'm going to do Women's History Month. Then I'm covering the Titanic in April. May, we're covering Angel Island and Asian immigration through the West. Then I'm covering Ellis Island and immigration through the East of the United States. Then I'm either covering women inventors or food. I'm not sure what's coming in July. It's one of those two. And August is, again, if it's not one, it's the other. Then I'm doing a deep dive into Beauty and the Beast. If you want to check out what that's going to look like, check out my Cinderella playlist. Because I do a deep dive into that, looking at a lot of the adaptations as well as the original source material. And yes, I do both the French and the German versions, where the Disney movie comes. And yes, I do both the animation and the live action. I'm doing that with Beauty and the Beast as well. October, I'm covering space. November, I'm covering Diwali. If you're interested in Native American history, check out my playlists. I've covered those the last couple of years. There's limited amount of material. So we're going to go to a different culture. So we're going to cover Diwali in November. And then we're covering, I'm going back to mysteries come December. So that is what you have to look forward through the rest of the year. So check out my channel, leave a positive comment if you have one. Thank you.